Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to chat with you about something that I've been experiencing and dealing with over the last 6 months, because I know that I'm not alone, and I'm wondering if any of you out there have experienced this or are experiencing it now. Some of you may not realize what it actually is. A lot of us have dealt with different allergy issues, hay fever here and there, but for some people, they may be experiencing symptoms like that regularly, and it's really difficult. And I've been dealing with symptoms that I've just recently come to realize are histamine-related symptoms due to histamine intolerance or high histamine levels, and this is just something I didn't put two and two together for the longest time. Now, about 5 months ago, I quit drinking coffee, and I've done several videos on it. It was a great decision to do that. But a month after I quit, I started developing really bad congestion and sinus headaches, and it became so disruptive to my life, to my work life, and to my sleep. Sometimes as a result, my sleep is really bad and my breathing is bad at night. It just happened last night again. I didn't realize what was going on, and I kind of thought that it was related to me quitting coffee. More recently, a couple of other things have happened that finally woke me up to what was going on. I ended up getting a vibration plate, and this is where things went a little bit weird for me. I ended up using it. This is something that can help with lymphatic drainage. It's really supposed to be good for you. It's supposed to be good for bone density and all kinds of things. There's probably not a lot of research on it though, but a lot of people are into using these and have found them to be really beneficial personally. So I ended up getting one. I started using it, and when I got off of it, my legs were just absolutely on fire, burning and itching like no other. I've never experienced anything like that. It felt like I was having an allergic reaction. I did a little research on it, and it came up as being a rare genetic mutation can cause some people to have a hive type reaction or some type of rash, a histamine reaction from vibration. Interestingly, I had my whole genome sequenced through NEBULA GENOMICS, and I ended up going in there and checking if I had the mutation. I don't have that mutation, so that's good. Yet, I was still experiencing this. And the other crazy thing that happened to me is I have an indoor rebounder, and I haven't used it in a little while, and I stopped for a few months due to those sinus headaches. And even after, 2 months of the sinus issues, they got better, but then the symptoms kind of came back. And so it's been like a little up and down. But what I noticed is I had problems jumping on it because of the sinus pressure. But recently I started using it again, and I got that burning and itching on my legs from using the rebounder. I've also been experiencing scalp itchiness, which is odd for me, and also itching in the inside of my ears, which is the most annoying thing ever. There's also other symptoms that I've been having where sometimes after I eat, I'm just coughing and clearing my throat. And this all is getting better. This isn't like a lifelong condition. For some people it might be, but for most people, when you change your ways and change what you're doing, alter some things, maybe change your diet a little, change the way you're taking care of your food and leftovers and taking certain supplements, you can get it all under control. That's what I've learned anyway. And so for me, the symptoms are sporadic. Basically, I've finally come to realize that this is related to histamine intolerance and high histamine levels. I'm so grateful that I figured that out, because the most annoying problem for me has been the sinus issues, and I've always wanted to find a way to treat the root cause, and you really can't do that unless you know what in the world is going on. And I thought that I was just so sensitive to dust and to pollution levels and to, had to check the air quality and check all kinds of things, and I'm sure that I am still sensitive to those things, but there's a lot more to the story than just that. Upon doing further research, I have noticed that this seems to be a common issue for people who are eating a very animal-based diet. You could say carnivore, keto. And so upon looking into that further, I noticed some doctors were saying that they believe it could be related to either low copper levels or low vitamin C levels, or kind of a combination of both of those. Beyond those issues, I'm not sure if there's any other speculation about what could be causing it. About 5 to 6 months ago, so right before I started developing all these issues, I kind of changed my diet a little, and I eat a very meat-based diet, and I ended up eating grass-fed ground beef from a local farm. for every single meal. I don't know what was going on. Sometimes you go through these phases where you are just so satisfied with what you're eating. I just felt great eating that. I did have some things added in with it, but that's what I basically ate for every single meal. Of course, there are times when I had bacon or I had other things, but this was like the staple. This was the main thing I was eating. So I was basically eating ground beef for most of my meals for the last 6 months, and I would make a couple of pounds and then it would be in the fridge, and I would be storing it, you know, for a couple of days or however long it took to eat that. And apparently what I've learned is that you have to be careful, especially with stuff like ground beef, because there's more surface area and it can end up creating an issue with your histamine, especially if you're eating leftovers and you're putting things in the fridge and it's sitting in there. So for people dealing with pretty bad histamine issues, it's best to freeze your food if you're making a larger amount and then reheat it like your individual serving. And so I'm working on making some of those changes. In addition, there are certain supplements that can help break down histamine, and one of them is DAO, and so I have that. I have a bunch of different supplements, like stinging nettle is another one. I'm experimenting right now to see if those are helping me. In addition to that, I'll just close this video with one last interesting thing. About a month ago, I did one of the most comprehensive at-home health tests that I've ever done, called METABOLOMIX by Genova Labs. And this test involved a urine sample, a saliva swab, and a blood test. And like I said, I did this at home, and this is going to give me the most comprehensive understanding of my overall health and nutritional status. And I mean every single thing you could possibly imagine was tested for. So if I have anything, nutrients that I am low in or high in, or I'm having issues with, or if I have heavy metals, it's going to show me. And I'm really excited about doing the upcoming video when I get the results and sharing that with you guys, because a lot of you might be curious, if you are eating a very meat-based diet without a ton of variety, how's my health? Like, what's really going on with my labs? Because most doctors don't test for these things. If you're curious about that, I would recommend subscribing so that you're notified when the next video comes out. I'm also going to post it on my website prior to posting the video. My website is lifeanddiy.com. If you are experiencing any symptoms like what I'm experiencing, I'm curious if you don't mind sharing some of your experiences in the comment section below, as well as sharing a little bit about your diet. So with that said, I really hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.